Hey, recently I was invited for a second time to be a guest on the Wake Up Legendary show to be interviewed by eight-figure marketer Dave Sharpe. Well, that interview turned out to be extremely powerful and incredibly valuable for anyone who wants to start a high-ticket affiliate marketing business, but is worried about not having a list or a following or an audience. Well, we'll show you how to overcome that hurdle and get traction quickly by focusing on the number one place that you can get the most leverage in a brand new business. I think you're really going to enjoy this interview. Let me know if you have any questions afterwards. I'd be happy to help you out. Enjoy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. As always, we are here 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we're happy that you're here with us. If this is your first time for some reason, you're new to the community, you just found out we do these every day, welcome. Go ahead and hit the little notification. You should get a little pop-up that is annoying at first, but if you just go ahead and click, yes, I want to get notified whenever Legendary goes live, you'll get a little notification in Facebook, and you can join us every day, Monday through Friday. If you're brand new to the community and you're going through the challenge, or you bought maybe an ebook or something, here's what I want you to do. Go through the challenge. Go through it with an advisor if you can, okay? Go through it with an advisor if you can, and soak up every single bit and piece and word and ask questions. And by the end of that 15-day challenge, my hope is that you have a blueprint, right? We're going to talk about our blueprints, but you're going to have a blueprint, be well on your way to making your first sale, and then even your first high ticket sale in affiliate marketing. We're going to teach you the nuts and bolts and give you step-by-step instructions on exactly how to do that. All right, so let's get into it. I've got an exciting guest, a guy who's a returning guest, this guy's really a superstar in our community. This guy's an experienced marketer. He's been doing this for a long time, and I'm stoked to talk to him. With that being said, Brian Brewer, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me on again. Good to see you this morning.
It is great to see you, man. My pleasure. And
Thank
thanks for coming on, man, and being willing to, share what is working and what's going on in your business. We were chatting a little bit before we got into this, we went live, and just in case people don't know who you are, before we just jump into, nuts and bolts stuff, or kind of how people can benefit from your success and your experience and even your failures. Tell us a little bit about like who you are and how you even got started in digital marketing in the first place.
Sure, absolutely. So, I started back in 2012. Which was quite a long time ago in the digital marketing world. And I did the quintessential search. I was living in San Diego, new baby, wife, in the restaurant industry, and wanted to get out so I could spend more time with my family and provide and all that. And, I did the how to make money online and found affiliate marketing. And over the years, honed my craft and learned and tested. And like you said, failed a lot and had some successes. And then in 2016, I went full-time with affiliate marketing, and I've been a full-time affiliate marketer ever since. I have done coaching and courses and all that stuff that people do in the past. Right now in 2020, I went back to a full affiliate model and really loving it. And, support a family of four with affiliate marketing, and happy to share anything that I've learned to help everybody out, because it's a life changer potentially. I think it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. So I was dreaming up ads and angles last night, and I think that one of the angles that I was dreaming up was just like this, basically a simple message, because it's always important that people can grasp whatever your message is simply and quickly. And that's always the power of a great advertisement, is people don't have to think about it. They don't have to figure out what you're saying. And I almost wish that more people would understand that concept of, even in when they write articles on news sites and stuff like that, people try to use big words, and it's just like, you want to write on a third grade level. You want your concepts to be the grasp by anybody. And so I was just thinking, like, for 2020, it's like, now is the perfect time to market, if you're in the make money online space, to market recession proof and pandemic proof your income. Never rely on just one stream of income. Here's, learn affiliate marketing today. Just something like so simple, something so powerful, because we're getting a lot of we're having a lot of success with our advertising just right now on Facebook. But anyways, you like that. I just thought of that because you said, I've done courses, I've done all this stuff, and I'm surviving and thriving just right now on affiliate marketing. And that's really powerful, man. Like, people need to hear that. People need to know that this is something that you can support 4 kids with. So I just wonder if you would say a little bit more about why you believe affiliate marketing is legitimate, why you're willing to put your eggs in that basket, why you have, why you've shifted everything to just affiliate marketing to focus totally and solely on that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it's all about opportunity. If there's no opportunity there, it doesn't matter how good of a marketer you are, it doesn't matter how good of a product you have, you're not going to succeed. You have to have opportunity. And right now with affiliate marketing, I think really affiliates have all the power, essentially. Everybody has a product that they're looking to get more sales for. Advertising is increasing. So people are, at least the people who aren't very good at advertising, are looking for other traffic sources. And oftentimes they go to affiliates, and I get affiliate requests daily, multiple times daily. Hey, will you promote my product? And I have to politely turn 99.9% of them down. So that's the first reason. We hold the power as the affiliates. It's a great skill to learn. Really, I think there's the debate, marketing and sales, which is more important in business. Well, I would have to say that they're equal. So let's focus on one and really master it. When you become an affiliate marketer, you become a master marketer, because you're only focusing on mostly marketing. You really let the partner company that you're working with handle a lot of the sales. Like, part of marketing is pre-selling, of course. But when you can master a craft, then you really set yourself up for a long term, as long as it's an in-demand craft like marketing.
Yeah.
And the third reason that I went to a full affiliate marketing model was something very interesting that I heard a couple of years ago that I just couldn't shake. And it actually, many in the affiliate marketing community will know that he's got the brand, the Deadbeat Super Affiliate brand. That's not an endorsement for his products by any means, but if you've ever been on YouTube, you probably know him. And once again, that's not an endorsement for his products necessarily. But one thing he said is when you create courses and stuff, it's a weird thing that you have to gatekeep so much of your value. And so when you build an audience, unfortunately, only a small percentage of people buy. So only a small percentage of people actually get the value. So as an affiliate, I feel like I can give 100% of the value that I can offer, which allows me to grow my brand bigger and better, which is going to ultimately set me up for the long term and make more money. And then I can just choose the excellent products in the field and make a recommendation based on I promote things I use, I promote things I believe in, I promote things that are getting results for beginners. And so for those 3 reasons, I'm all in on affiliate marketing, and it really is. It is a great business, and people let their guard down when you're just making recommendations for excellent products versus, hey, here's my thing, right?
Right. And also, I want to point out that I think the reason why you're as successful as you are is because you are all in with a business model, and you don't seem to be having that sort of, I want to just make sure that I'm not missing out on this over here. So I've also got my hand in this cookie jar. And that level of focus and I talk about this over and over and over again. It's counterintuitive because we feel like we're leaving eggs in one basket. And one might even say, well, Dave, I'm hanging on every word that you say. I'm listening. And you just said never rely on one income stream. But if we dig deeper into what I really mean is go all in with one cash cow, cash flow business, and then take that money and invest it on the back end. So now you have another income source. You have another income stream. Put 10% of your earnings in stocks. Save up for your first rental property. So now within 5 years of building your business, you've got multiple streams of income. But the thing that's making everything go is that front end cash flow machine. And the only way to get that in my experience, to build a really strong cash flow business is to be 100% focused on it. Like no attention span splits. No, I'm doing this over here, because my experience is you put 20% out because that's the time you have, you get 20% back. Whereas with Legendary, I put 100% in, I get 100% back. People feel my presence. They feel my focus. And I would assume that people feel the same thing with you, your list, your group. What do you do to engage with people? And we're going to talk a little bit about conversion. Let's transition the conversation a little bit now into sort of what's working for you right now. And by the way, guys, let's pump up these comments. Like if you want us to keep going, if you want, if you're getting value, all that good jazz, like let's blow up the comments. Let's blow up the likes. Brian's coming on here because he has absolutely nothing else to do but come on here and talk to us. He doesn't have 4 kids and a business. So let's show some major mad love, just the same way that hopefully you guys will be on one day. And we'll show love for you guys as well. So talk to us a little bit about what that going all in looks like for you, and sort of what's like this far along in your career. Isn't that a fun thing to call it a career? Who would have known?
Yeah,
It's just
when it starts, when you can say that confidently, it's pretty exciting. Yeah.
So talk us through what's like if we could glean in 10 or 15 minutes from your many years of experience and what's kind of working for you and what you're focusing on right now with all the experience that you do have. Talk us through some of the things that you're focusing on and some of the recent discoveries that you made that may be helpful for other people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that's really interesting is I mentioned that I've been doing this since 2012 and full time since 2016. And over the years, I've had really, really good years. For instance, 2017 was phenomenal. I mean, I feel almost bad about how well that year went for me. But that doesn't mean that the job is done. 2018 and first half of 2019, stayed afloat, obviously, and did, blessed to do as well as I did. But things were down. So I kind of think that's what you're leading into is, I had to kind of go all in again. I had to refocus. I had too many different things going on. And it was because I had a lot of passions, and it really came from a good place where I just really wanted to help people as many ways as possible. But you can't be all things to all people. So one thing that I did recently, and, really quickly, we mentioned that I was on your show maybe a month or two ago. And in that interview, if you all want to check it out after this one, I think I went kind of broad. I kind of gave an overarching plan for what is this whole digital marketing landscape all about? And today, I think maybe we mentioned conversions. Maybe we can go just a little bit deeper. That way we can hopefully really, really hone in on what moves the needle in the tiny little, tiny little details that make all the difference. But the first thing, before you even get started, I think the most important thing is you got to set a specific goal. For instance, you can't just come into a new venture, a new business and say, hey, I want to make some money. Right? Like if you say, hey, I want to make some money, guess what? You'll probably make some money. $5 is some money. So what I did is when I first started way back when, I was like, I want to make $20 a day. I think that would validate the concept, the idea that, hey, this thing works. And I did. And then I immediately said, okay, cool. I can make $20 a day. I want to make $60 a day, right? That'll pay my rent. And I did. And then I went and I said, okay, cool. Now I want to make $600 a day. And I did. And at that point, I got kind of comfortable. I was like, cool, I'm comfortable. $600 a day, that's a pretty good income. Now let's focus on making my life easier. Well, guess what happened? My brain stopped focusing on making the money and doing things that increase the income. And my brain started focusing on making life easier. And guess what? My life got easier, but I wasn't making nearly as much money. And all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, we got to reverse things. So, this is kind of a weird thing, but not too long ago, I said, okay, cool. Let's 10X it again. Let's set the goal on $6,000 a day. And I know that sounds crazy, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's set the goal on $6,000 a day. So whatever your goal is, whether that's $100 a day, whether that's $1,000 a month, set a specific goal. And I think that really, really helps out. And when you hit that goal, up it immediately. If your goal is to make $1,000 a month and you make $1,000 a month, set your goal for $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. And then it's time to go, right? Time to get in and start building your business. And just to I really want to talk about conversions today, as you already mentioned. We're going to get to that, but really, like for the beginners here, fundamentally for a business, you need two things. You need an offer and you need an audience. You need targeted traffic coming to an offer, right? You apply a little sales pressure to that, and you got yourself a business, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to create some sort of system in my mind. And if any time, like you want to expand on anything a little bit further, Dave, feel free to cut me off because sometimes I have a tendency to just talk. And I'm happy to share, but feel free to cut me off at any time if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you. I mean, I like
cool. We'll talk about some a little more in detail. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, developing a system, I think, is one of the things that's most important to people because it's here. And I'll tee this up for you.
Okay, perfect.
I was doing construction with my dad for a real estate investor many years ago, and he said, I said, hey, why don't you? He was just doing these like 2-1 homes, like we were just kind of flipping and working on these like 2-1s, like 3-2 at most, but never anything bigger, never anything smaller. And I always thought, why don't you get into like some mansions and like mix it up and he said, Dave, because what I do is I focus on selling cheese pizzas. That's the system. Selling cheese. I don't get outside of what I don't know. I stay in a lane and I've got a system for that. I know what I'm looking for. I know how much it's supposed to cost. I know how much I can put it. I know how much I can put into it. I know how much I can get out of it. And that's what I stick with. And that lesson, Brian, has traveled with me, both in real estate that I've done, but also in business and marketing. And in every single time, Brian, I'm telling you, every single time I get outside of that system, whatever the system is that I've created, I suffer. I suffer. So I think a system is essential. And go ahead and tell us what you.
So it's like you say, you become the best cheese pizza maker, right? And you become the best cheese pizza producer. You become the best affiliate marketer. And people always ask me, can you make a full-time income with affiliate marketing? Well, absolutely. So don't worry about that. If you want to be an affiliate marketer, go all in on it. So we talked about, I just mentioned, like fundamentally, we need traffic. We need an offer. We need targeted traffic. People are interested in the product we're promoting. So the way I see it, when you're building out a system, it's kind of the important thing to do is really focus on what moves the needle. And I think what I've seen in the affiliate marketing space is we tend to get too focused on traffic. If we can just get 100 million people to our offer, everything will be great. Well, guess what? Getting 100 million people to your offer is really, 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 really difficult, if not impossible sometimes. So to start, you obviously need some sort of front-end traffic system, right? We need people to come into our funnel. We need people to come into our ecosystem. So back to the focus thing, I recommend, and what I found works best for me is I focus on one front-end traffic source. So that can be advertisements. If you want to run lead generation ads on Facebook, great. That's a front-end traffic source. It can be TikTok. If you want to create TikToks, great. That's a front-end traffic source. If you want to create a Facebook group and hopefully get people to join your Facebook group organically, great. That's a front-end traffic source, just like YouTube is a front-end traffic source. Now, when you're thinking about your traffic source, the way I see it is there's going to be, there's going to be 100% of the work that has to be done. It's just some of the work will end up on the front end and some of the work will end up on the back end. So what I mean by that is, let's say we're buying Facebook advertising. Really super simple to get the front end traffic, right? You just go onto Facebook, you create an ad, and people start showing up to your page. Super simple. Whereas YouTube takes a lot of effort. Well, some effort to create YouTube videos. You gotta record them, you gotta edit them, you gotta upload them, and you gotta build the channel. So there's going to be a lot of work on the front end there. Now, where that equals out is on Facebook ads. If you run a Facebook ads, you're basically you're putting yourself in front of cold traffic. So you're going to have to do a lot of work on the back end to make that conversion happen. You're going to have to make sure your bridge page is on point. You're going to have to make sure your follow-up sequence is on point. If you're using a video sales letter, you're going to have to make sure that's on point. That becomes equal though. Whereas if you go to YouTube, there's a lot of work up front, but by the time people find you on YouTube and they start to watch your channel, you can pretty much just make the recommendation and they're going to go buy whatever you're going to recommend if you're doing a good job. So I guess the point I'm trying to make with that is whatever you do, the work's going to be equal. So it doesn't matter. There's no one easier way to do it than the other. Just choose one front end traffic source and go all in on it, right? Like I'm going to focus on perfecting paid advertising, or I'm going to focus on growing the best YouTube channel, or I'm going to go all in on TikTok because I can get 100,000 views a day. Whatever it is, just focus on one front end traffic. After you get that, after you get leads coming into your system, they're opting in, they're coming into your brand, then you can shift your attention to the back end system, right? So instead of focusing on creating more traffic, more YouTube videos, more TikToks, obviously you want to stay consistent with your content, but only focus maybe 20 or 30% of your effort on driving more traffic and focus the other 70 or 80% on increasing the number of conversions. Because if you want to double your income, the easiest way to do that is double your conversions. If you're getting 100 people a day into your funnel and you're getting a 2% conversion rate, the easiest way to double your income is to, instead of getting 2 out of 100 people to buy your product, get 4 out of those 100 people to buy your product. Then you just doubled your income. It's a lot easier to do that than say, hey, I need another 100 visitors a day. It's just the way it is. This is not my rule. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. So focus on building those relationships and focus all in on increasing those conversions. Maybe that's creating a Facebook group so you can cultivate the community. Maybe it's creating YouTube content so people can really get to know you, right? Maybe it's reaching out to people directly and saying, hey, shoot me an email and I'd be happy to talk to you. Maybe it's getting them on Messenger and really focus on getting 4 out of 100 people instead of 2 out of 100 people to buy. And think about those emails that you send, those videos that you create on YouTube that you're sending your email list to, right? Think about all that as traffic. Anytime you get somebody on Facebook Messenger and you ask them, hey, what are you struggling with, right? Focus on that as traffic, but targeted traffic that already knows you, likes you, and trusts you. And that's how you're going to hit your first $1,000 day. That's how you're going to get your first big high ticket commission. That's how you're going to start scaling up and seeing more results.
If I could jump in, I think this might be an interesting time for us to bring up this little image of your group where you took a poll of Matt, director, if we could bring that up. Yeah. So inside of you started a Facebook group and you actually asked them, you said, what do you want? Right? Basically. Mm-hmm. What do you want? And this is one example. You said, hey, I'm going to be Wake Up Legendary. What do you want to hear about? What do you want to know? These sort of surveys, this sort of dialogue is, and I want you guys to take the lesson away about kind of the strategy here versus just exactly what he did. What you did was you created a conversation. You created a dialogue here. And this can be done in a Facebook group, but some of you guys are saying, well, gosh, I don't have a Facebook group, or, it's going to, I do have a Facebook group, but there's only 5 people in it. Or, if I start a Facebook group, I'm afraid nobody's going to come. Well, the point here is not that you have to have a Facebook group. I think having a Facebook group is a great idea. I think that we did a training in our last virtual mastermind, and a couple of guys, Landon and Chris, came on and talked about building the Facebook group in putting $20 a day in advertising to actually drive people to the Facebook group, and then ask them questions when people went to join the Facebook group, and then they actually got on the phone and talked to each person, and talked about what their goals were, and of course made them an offer. Of course, that could be, if you're only getting 5 people to join your Facebook group a day, why wouldn't you be having 5 conversations, or at least trying to have 5 conversations to learn about what people want, to learn about what people are doing? But let's take a step back, because what you're doing and what you're creating is dialogue. You're creating conversation between you and your customers. And whether that happens in a Facebook group, that's a fine way to do it. But when I got started, there was no Facebook groups. At least I don't remember having a Facebook group. This was 10-ish years ago. And you know what I did? I actually would send my autoresponder series, would be, 10 emails long. And I would tell people about who I was. I wanted them to get to know me as a person, what my mission was, what my story was. But then I would send out emails like, hey, how are you still interested in building affiliate marketing business? Or, hey, shoot me an email back and tell me what your biggest goal is and why you don't think you've achieved it up until this point. So now all of a sudden, I've got people, say your list is only 20 or 50 people long. I just want to put this in perspective in terms of conversion, that you can do this with a small amount of people. You can do this and you can do it right in email. You don't even have to do it. You can even shoot each and every lead that comes through. You can copy and paste their email address into your, and you can even send out an email that says, hey, you're going to get some automated emails, but I wanted to personally email you and just let you know that I'm a real person, and see if there was anything that I could help you with. Conversion comes from connection, and oftentimes from conversation.
100%.
Let me give you one more statistic.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
The 95% of our sales come from having a conversation with people, our higher ticket sales, right? 95% of them come from that. And 80% of people that come through our process choose working with an advisor. So if we didn't have the team that we have of advisors, and we didn't invest so much into having conversation, then we wouldn't be as successful as we are. So just wrap your head around that and how much that you could do. I think there's so many people, Brian, who are sitting around, wondering what can I do, or waiting for something to happen, or when they could be creating conversations and even jumping. I mean, hell, get a Zoom account, jumping on Zoom, using Facebook Messenger, the little video feature. I mean, you could do it for free, right? Anyways, I'm ranting here, but it's like I'm so excited and passionate about this topic, because everybody can do more with what they have, and that's the point that you're making.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And I think that's what the big guys that you see who are just crushing the game, like that's what they understand. Like 80% of their energy goes into the conversion. So you talked about Facebook Messenger. For example, I mentioned that really in 2019, and I was doing more some coaching, and I've closed $5,000 deals inside Facebook Messenger. That's the conversation. You mentioned that your email sequences. I recently changed my email sequence. The first email that goes out after people opt into my bridge page for Legendary Marketer is just an email that introduces me. Hey, this is me. This is my story. That's it. I started signing off all of my automated emails with "Let me know if you need anything." Like literally, reply to this message and I will respond to you. And that makes all the difference. And the reason is I don't remember who said this or where I first heard this, but people buy not when they understand you as the marketer. They buy when they feel understood. And when you make those conversations, you put those polls in your Facebook group, you reach out and say, hey, let me know what you need. Then they feel understood. At that point, they're comfortable taking your recommendation on the product that you're promoting.
Without a doubt. they feel seen. I've told the story before, but going to Oprah and I was sitting in an auditorium with 20,000 people. I was like one of the only 5 guys in there. I'm like with my wife, and they're like, give the guys a round of applause, and there was like 5 of us in this entire auditorium. But she said, I love Oprah. She said something that always stuck with me. She said, human beings want to be seen, heard, and understood. And it's so true, man.
That's it.
It's so true.
It's totally
so many people focus so much of their time trying to be understood rather than trying to understand, trying to be interesting rather than being interested.
Yeah. Dr. Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says, first seek to understand and then to be understood. So when you figure out what people want and what they need, then it becomes, it's like you're hacking the system, right? You found the cheat code.
Totally. It is. It almost is an advantage that feels like you're cheating, like because everybody else is out there is trying to pump their chest, and they think that marketing is about. And I even had to go through this evolution, Brian. Like
me too. Me too.
Like, it was like I had to mature and grow up in this industry because I came in as this is just real raw. I came in as a homeless ex-drug addict who felt like a fraud for a long time. Like I had imposter syndrome. Like I thought, I need to become interesting. I need to look successful, right? Because if you really knew how I felt about myself, then like maybe you wouldn't buy or want to follow or whatever. And I had to like really do some work on myself. That's why I always encourage people, go to therapy, figure out what the story is inside your head that's disempowering, that's keeping you stuck, and that's not making the insides match the outsides, right? Because if the insides don't match the outsides, there's going to always be like an insecurity or a voice inside your head that's going to be telling you, what you're doing doesn't matter. It's not really worth it. And over time, I've got more in alignment, my insides matching my outsides more and more and more, until today I feel totally congruent. And I think that comes across in what I do, because I'm not worried about how I look. I'm not worried about how it sounds. I just want to tell the truth. I want to be totally present with my clients, with my team, with my family. And I don't want to flash or flaunt stuff. I don't want to, I'm grateful for what I have too. You know what I mean? So it's not like this big ego, I'm making a bunch of money. Like, it's like, I'm grateful. I want to know where I can serve and give. And I don't know, it's a different feeling. And I think that that's really an important part of this evolution of people as an entrepreneur, to be able to do videos, or to be able to make recommendations. Like, I don't know. I wonder if you have any thoughts about that, like your evolution of how you feel about yourself and being congruent, and how that's given you more confidence to be able to, make recommendations and make content and feel follow worthy.
Yeah, that actually transitions into the next note that I had perfectly, because you mentioned that you encourage people to look into their story and authentic, look into that authentic self, and don't be necessarily ashamed of it, but flaunt that, and that becomes your number one competitive advantage in marketing in the way that the landscape is today. So 50 years ago, marketing was simple. You picked one of the 3 networks, you blasted your ads to everybody who was watching them, and you go. Nowadays, there's no shortage of places that you can get your entertainment and your information. That's apparent. The internet is made this possible for everyone to share their information. So if you share your story, then you attract people who like you for you. If you go to YouTube's one of their pages and you say, like you're trying to figure out how you're going to grow on YouTube, for example, and you go to their page, like, what does YouTube want? the first sentence is something like, YouTube's number one goal is try to match people with the videos that they are most likely to view and enjoy. So guess what? There's 2 billion monthly searches on YouTube. If you just be your authentic self, then YouTube's going to work its butt off to figure out who likes you for you. Then 80% of your job is done, because once people know you and like you, they probably trust you. And then it's as simple as making a recommendation. So that kind of leads into what I think is kind of the number one fear for a lot of people, is that whole content, right? Like, I got to go create content. I'm scared to create content. I don't want to create videos. I don't know what I'm going to say. So what content becomes a part of your marketing strategy, in my opinion, regardless of whether you're trying to drive all organic traffic or if you're implementing advertising to generate leads. So as of right now, I'm doing a little bit of both. I have cold traffic ads running to generate leads for Legendary Marketer. But I know I'm not going to be profitable on the front end. If I could break even, that would be awesome. But even if I get close enough, that's cool with me, because I know that I'm going to bring those people into my Facebook groups. I'm going to introduce them to my YouTube channels or my TikTok channel or whatever. And guess what? Some of those people are going to get to know me more, and they're going to buy 6 months down the road. When you take that approach of creating content and developing your brand, it's not a matter of if people are going to buy. It just comes down to when people are going to buy. Yeah. People follow me for 2 years before they buy from me. But guess what? If I just consistently be myself, try to provide as much value as possible, they're going to stick around. And guess what? If everybody ever comes in contact with me eventually buys, that's going to be a pretty good business. So the question is, like, I don't, the problem, I guess, is people say, I don't know enough. I don't have 8 years of experience of marketing. I can't create the content. I can't create the YouTube channel. And that's where the courses come into play. That's the shortcut, right? Like, I spent years and years and years honing my craft so I could share that information with people and build my audience and make recommendations and build trust and all that stuff. But if you don't know what to say, if you want to shoot a video on YouTube to grow your brand, you don't know what to say, guess what? Go learn something. Buy a course, pick up a book, whatever. And when you'll realize, when you start learning stuff, then you have more to say. And that's the shortcut, right? Money increases speed. So when you invest in something, that's going to give you the opportunity to accelerate your education. And every time you invest in something, it always pays for itself in the long run. Guaranteed. If not 5 times over, 200 times over. It's an investment in your brand and your business.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think that for somewhere along the path, we were not that didn't translate. That didn't make sense to people that investing in my own personal growth and my own knowledge, even college, it's like I'm investing to get this paper to go do this job. And I think that's the closest thing that people have, they understand that. But it's like, I think the challenge with people who have that are hesitant to invest in education and so forth in this business, in this industry, in the sort of entrepreneur or self-growth industry, is that it's like they view it as there's no tangible outcome. Like, okay, what exactly am I going to get out of this? And it's like, well, it's hard to explain to people that you can get out of it whatever you want. Like, you can get out of it a business that makes $1 million a year. Whereas with college, it's like, if you say, well, what am I going to get out of this? Well, you're going to get a degree that you can walk in and get a job. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to get a job. But it's like there's limitations to that. And it's like, over here, you're actually going to invest in gaining the skills and capabilities to build whatever you want. And that sort of ambiguity is, I think, confusing to people. It's like they aren't able to see how that might turn out. And that's why we try to do this show every morning and bring on people like you, because it gives them real life examples of people who have chosen this path and are now at home with their 4 kids, who have been full-time online, who are not suffering through a pandemic, who are not waiting on a government check, who are not, dealing with the same stresses that the rest of the world is dealing with. People in this business who got started a couple of years ago, and even some who got started just this year, are not dealing with those same struggles. They're not suffering in that same way. And so, I really appreciate you being willing to come on and just share. I think the conversion piece is a huge deal. I hope that you folks that are listening really realize that you can do a lot with a little. And I think, Brian, that is your point. That's like what, you can do so much with what you have already. Even if it's just some Facebook friends, there's somebody in your Facebook that if you put out a post that wasn't spammy, that if you wrote a value-based educational post, that you would have people reaching out. It's like, and I'm not talking about going and doing network marketing, guys. I'm not talking about going and pitching friends and family. I'm just saying that if you wanted to, if you applied what we teach here in terms of writing copy and providing value in marketing versus spamming and in trying to hard sell people, you can do something with what you have. And then as you guys get going with be ads or whatever your traffic source that you're getting started with, instead of just sitting back and just wait, when are the sales going to come? People ask this all the time. So when are the sales going to come? And it's like, well, that's not how this works, right? I don't know when the sales are going to come. The sales are going to come when you tweak and continue to test and then do extra work like what we're talking about today to reach out, that you find something that works. And then only a certain percentage of people, it becomes sort of a math equation. Like we know our numbers here at Legendary, and we know that for us, how many ever people land on that sales page, there's a certain percentage over 100,000 people that are going to buy, right? So you start to develop this system to where okay, if I do this action this many times, this is the result that I'm going to get. And then you can begin to sort of predict. You can then scale, whatever that means for your situation. Maybe it means adding an additional person to do replying to emails, right? Maybe it means an appointment setter to have appointments with you, and you're going to spend half of your day actually talking to people. Like most of you guys, it would benefit you to stop looking at people and saying, well, what exactly are they doing? And try to find something that works for you and your personality. And maybe that's just writing ads. And then, even when we're running ads, Brian, that reaching out to people, responding to comments, the advertisements nowadays that do the best are the ones that people are in the comments. They're inviting. You can go through every single person who's commented and liked on an ad, and you can invite them to come and like your page. Every single person who's commented and liked an ad, you can invite them to come in. You can, if somebody likes your ad, you can shout them out. Hey, thanks for liking the ad. Shout them out. So then all of a sudden you're blowing up the comments, right? And then
Absolutely.
They're going to respond by saying, hey, thanks. I thought the video was cool. And now all of a sudden you create a conversation down below your advertisement. There's so much more that we can do. And even Matt and I, we look at our marketing all the time. And we say, shit, dang, that's been a black hole. Like we need to fill that hole fast. You know what I'm saying? So
it's interesting you say that thing about the comments so really quickly, because someone takes the time to like your post. Someone takes the time to leave a comment on your ad or a comment on your video or a comment on your TikTok. What we have to remember is that is pretty strong intent. Like I think a lot of times we have the tendency to say, okay, I need someone to watch my 15-minute video sales letter or it's not a success. But guess what? With how busy people are, that second to like, that's actually intent. That's interest. And if you can jump on that, you have an opportunity. That's highly targeted traffic right there. So absolutely.
Well, in just showing somebody that you see them, like it goes back to that point that we were both making in our own way just a second ago, that everybody wants to be seen, noticed, understood, appreciated. I mean, what's the number one thing that, I used to complain about? And, it's like the thing in marriage. It's like, damn, I can't. Actually, Rodney Dangerfield can't get no respect around here.
Mhm.
He used to say, and it's like it's one of the things that men crave the most is feeling appreciated and respected.
Right.
You know,
And
both in
people
a
in
marriage
general,
well,
if you
yeah,
can make people feel significant, right? Hey,
yes,
he responded to my comment. I feel significant. They light up.
right,
They get a good feeling. That good feeling is associated with you, the marketer. Guess what? When people feel good when they see you, they're going to want more of whatever you're offering.
yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, and also I think you guys all underestimate the power that you have like when when you're a creator, like you become a celebrity. Like you become a celebrity in people's eyes. And I think that it's an underestimated power. And I think that most people don't associate themselves with that because they don't see themselves as celebrity. Neither do I. But when you put up a video, you put up something on the internet, now somebody's watching you like they're watching you literally like you're on TV. You have you have a certain authority. And so when you come back and acknowledge somebody, it really holds a lot of power. And it's incredibly powerful. People want to buy from people that they like. People want to buy from people that they feel like have a certain appreciation and respect for them and their beliefs and their work and so forth. So anyways, great conversation, dude. So powerful. Any final words that you want to leave people with? Maybe somebody's on the fence today. Maybe somebody needs to be reminded how powerful this is. What would you say to them?
So, it's kind of the idea that, sometimes maybe people have tried something in the past and failed. So they're scared, or, eventually you have to just find your thing, see what's working. I think if you're in certain communities and you really dig into them and you say, okay, this is working, then it's time to go all in. Like you said, go all in and think to yourself, here's my goal. This will work because it's proven. Now let's make it work with my voice and my, desires and goals. And remember that we're playing the long game here. And I think that was part of the title of my first time I was on your show is you're playing the long game, and it's not a matter of if people buy, it's when people will buy if you do it the right way. So, focus on cultivating those relationships. And if you're doing high ticket affiliate marketing or selling a high ticket program, if you make one sale a day, right, that's $1,000 a day. You know what I mean? So put the effort into making that happen. So thank you so much, Dave, for having me on the show again. I really appreciate it. It's a great time. I love talking to you. You're obviously a man who's been walking the walk for a long time, and I appreciate it. So happy to do it.
Awesome, bro. Well, we're gonna put your handle up. I think we've got your TikTok handle, and folks will have another chance to be able to go and follow you, man. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Gems as always. Stay legendary, brother. And we'll call the show a wrap. With that
All
being
right.
said, guys, we will see you back here again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Wake Up Legendary. We have more guests, more value. We're gonna keep bringing you guys this stuff. We're gonna keep saying these things over and over again. We're gonna keep believing in you until you believe in yourself. Until you're coming back here, inspiring us one day when we need a little pick me up. So I want to make sure that each one of you guys who makes the effort to come on to learn every day, to stay connected to the community, you know that we notice you, we see you, we appreciate you, we're rooting you on. We're here to support you every step of the way. So be legendary, and we'll see you guys back here 10 a.m. Eastern time for